Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put a new position finger where the other one was. And so there's a little leaf spring actually that goes underneath here, and this is actually for the needle plate. It actually helps brace the needle plate, so we have to put that on first. And then we're going to go ahead and slide this guy into place. Sometimes I'll actually take a screw and put it through both of these. Okay, just to kind of have them in place together. And then get it in place and take our 15 torque, start screwing that down. Okay. And now we can see this has some adjustment in it, which is nice. We're going to just thread the other screw. We're not tightening these down all the way yet. We're just setting them in place so that we can slide this up and down. Because now here's the other piece about it. We're actually going to make sure that the basket will turn, right? That the hook will turn without the basket moving, which is good. But there needs to be space between the position finger and the opening in the basket right here. The key is that the basket rests on the leaf spring. So there's a leaf spring, that silver piece, and then also the black metal, the steel. The basket needs to push on that steel without pushing past it, because watch what happens if it's too high. If it's too high, the basket turns past it. Okay? Now if it's too low, and when the spacing is too low, that's going to be a problem as well. Alright, because then your loop lift, if it's too low, your loop lift won't be able to pass. It can't go past there. So it's kind of tricky because you kind of have to keep it in between. Low enough so that the basket rocks back and forth, but not so low that the thread cannot pass. So we're going to set it just right. So that we're ready to rock and roll here. And then we're going to tighten it up. So we'll tighten that down. You have to brace it while you tighten it or it'll change. Okay? Super important. So that's still not quite right. It shifted on me, so I'm going to loosen those a little bit. And I can get my flathead screwdriver in there and just barely I can shift that position finger. Okay, then I can tighten it back down again. So now we've got the spacing we need, but the basket isn't necessarily turning. I still need a little bit more spacing there. Basically, the black part of that position finger just needs to be on the hook basket. You know, so it's definitely bracing the basket. One reason these actually come out of position sometimes too is the hook will actually seize with the basket because it hasn't been oiled in so long, and so then it comes out of position. It actually takes this position finger out. It'll actually just move so hard past it that it deforms the spring. So we got a new position finger in, got the space in there for the thread to pass. The basket is still touching the black part and the spring is deflecting, so we're good to go.